Okay, so my name's Wade Mergen. I know Cami because she's married to my cousin Matt Grubb, and I'm here in Austin visiting the family. And so let's see a little bit more about. So I'm originally from Wisconsin, and I've been playing in nature and in streams since then. And I've actually recently, over the past 5 years, made it some part of my part-time profession to play in the woods with young people and sometimes adults. And I'm using the word play a little offhandedly. I do mean that we play, but it's also I come from a line of education that is well, I can send you like I can leave you guys a link for things like there's a course called The Art of Mentoring that I participated in, and ultimately, like, how I think about it, it's reclaiming our native humanness. And so I'm been invited to have an opportunity to show a series on clay. Here I have a nice big softball size almost hunk of clay that I just processed out of this river, and I'll take you step by step through a lot of the processes. But for now, what we're gonna do is there's a bank of, you can see a pretty big deposit of clay here, and maybe use the zoom
Yeah.
if you have to. And I'm just gonna start digging in here and see what the different layers are like. Well, it's obvious up here. These are some more sandy layers, and but one thing that's so nice about it is it's smooth and there aren't any big clumps in it, so you can work with this right away. And it'll just be different than ones without sand. Here, let me come and show you what I mean by smooth. When you see this clay here, it does crack a little bit on the edges when I work it, but it's very smooth. There's no hard clumps in there. And I can just roll that right into a ball. Right now it's super slippery because I have too much water on my hands. And very quickly, I'm doing this 5 times faster than I should, but you can make a pinch pot, see?
Yeah.
I wanted to show you all this because it's a massive deposit of clay. This whole bank up to about those plants and down to my feet. I'm walking in clay. And because, we want to find the clay that's easiest to work with and the best quality and the easiest to work with. So I thought I'd show you what I found. All of this clay will need to be worked quite a bit. It's in chunks, very chunky. It needs to be broken up. But something that can help us break up clay is wind and rain and basically weather. So freezing of water. So what I found is that on the top, you can hear me probably when I turn, right? On the top over here, I have to be careful because this is clay and it's really slippery. There's a section, for whatever reason, that's in much smaller chunks. And so what I found is I can, you might pick a plant off or some debris off, but I grab a ball of this, and it's pretty moist, but it's not all the way as wet as it needs to be. And there's lots of air pockets in here, and I'm pulling out little roots as I find them. So if I was to compress this right now into a ball, it would be a hard, stiff ball of clay. But right now it's broken up into lots of pieces, and there's air in there. So if I dunk it in this water, it's gonna the air will be replaced by water. But I also found that if I dunk it all the way in, it's kind of too much water. So I'm gonna dunk it about halfway in, and just really quick. And actually almost dunked it all the way in. So what I'll have to do is, as I'm working this, I could just let it dry out, I guess, but seeing as while I'm here, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And this is pretty easy. Still a little clumpy, but I think there's a lot that I can do with this. And it's hard for me to not want to talk about other things besides clay. And one of my warning labels about this episode, this series, and going out and harvesting clay is that you could be, if you're the curious type, you could be prepared for all kinds of distractions. Like trying to catch crayfish, or I don't know, whatever else you might get yourselves into.
Like you accidentally find an underwater cave that leads to a serpent's lair, and you have to battle it. It's good to have a clay sword, or even better yet, just a normal sword.
It's true.
Made of diamonds.
It's true.
Maybe we could get a close-up of Henny's hands. Okay, here.
There's a lot of
It's
process going into this little amount of clay.
and this I dug right out of the stream. So this here is probably wet forever. Like it's always been wet under the ground and then in the stream. And even it is a bit clumpy, and it's quite short of water. So I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Just dunk it in here. And I've said this before, but this find here in what's the name of the creek?
Tannehill Creek.
Tannehill, or Tana, is some of the best clay I've found. So maybe there's lots of good clay in the streams in Austin.
I think there is, yeah. We've seen it lots.
And so I could just keep working this and working this and working this, and eventually it would get to be a nice, fine clump of clay that you could use to make a bowl or a plate or a bell. I'm excited to show you the bell that I made, my first ceramic bell ever. Also add that clay is something I've been working with throughout my life, and that I was just recently in Oaxaca, Mexico, where they're known for some of the clay making that they do. And I'll also share with you a video of a professional ceramicist woman from down there, and it's really amazing to see what she does too.